Stream Elements said Ye Old Nerdcast is now live. Streaming just chatting, not watching football, definitely reacting to train videos.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nerdcast. It is Devin broadcasting. What the fuck? It is Devin broadcasting, as always, live from an undisclosed location in the center of Texas on a tiring, if you can't tell, it's a Thursday evening. How's everybody doing out there? Well, I'm doing okay myself. I'm doing pretty good. Trying to get past the bullshit of yesterday. Just another day, forging on, moving ahead. Football is back, but I only watched a little bit of it because I don't really care for the Cowboys or the Eagles. But I did see enough to watch former Buffalo Bills first round pick turned, I guess, bust for us, Kaiir Elam, get completely smoked on like a 50-yard bomb or some shit. And I was immediately like, okay, I guess I could understand why we got rid of him. Like, he was a complete wash for us, but I thought for certain he'd go somewhere else and like, oh, okay, he just wasn't a good fit in our system, or he needed a change of scenery. And I guess it's week one, probably can't judge anything based off of week one, but it really looked like a continuation of everything that we had seen in the years he was here, so I just feel kind of bad for him. Oh man, yeah, I've got my rental car out there, and I'm at peak. So for what I put in a police report for my car getting broken into. For those who don't know, my car was broken into the other day. It was broken into in the shittiest manner too, because like they didn't steal any of my shit that was in there, but what they did do was they ripped open the bottom part of my steering column, and they stole my ignition cylinder, my initial ignition lock cylinder. So like the one thing that made my car function, well, I guess a lot of things make it function, but the one thing that I need in order to make it function, they took that. I don't know why. Is there like copper in those things or something? Why is an ignition lock cylinder valuable? But without it, though, my car was a paperweight, so I had to get it towed to the shop that I just got it out of. I'm sure they're starting to get sick and tired of seeing my fucking car, but at least this time it's not my fault or anything. Well, the last time it wasn't my fault either, but it's just annoying to have to deal with. And expensive, because like I already spent a week working from home, the job that I have now. One of the mandates of the job, of the position when I was interviewing and whatnot, was that it is a work at the office position. They want all the people in the Austin area to go into the office. They're lenient, they're flexible with working from home if like you have to or whatever, but generally speaking, they try to get you to work in the office. And all last week I was working from home because I was dog sitting. I had 2 weenie dogs in this house with 2 cats that they don't really get along with. So I had to make sure I was here to make sure nothing bad happened. But as soon as they send the dogs away and I get my car, it can go to and from work again, the fucking shit gets ripped up to the point that I can't even drive it. Super, super fucking annoying. And no, the way that my neighborhood's laid out, my house doesn't have a garage, but all the driveways and garages are behind the houses in the alley, which really kind of makes it...
Arachnid Soul said, damn, that sucks.
Yo, what's up, Arachnid? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah, it does suck. It really makes it easier for thieves to go car to car with the cars being so far removed from the houses. Not that it would stop anyone from breaking into someone's house if the driveway was right up front, but it certainly makes it easier. And I think my car was targeted because, of course, it's a Hyundai, so Hyundais and Kias, very famously.
Corner Becky said that's how my old townhouse was. Separate garage behind it, but was enclosed.
Yo, what's up, Vince? Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Yeah, I wanted to get a house with a garage, but that just wasn't in the cards. So I settled for this with the intention of putting a garage in, building a garage out. But I mean, that's a huge investment, and things haven't been super great things haven't been super great, economically speaking, for me to like be able to take out a loan needed to finance building a garage. Like, there is a part of me that is like, for all of the
said nobody is watching football. Thanks, Lightning.
Oh, is the game is there a lightning delay on the game? You know what? Let me check my fantasy team. I'm playing Philly's defense tonight.
Street Corner Becky said yeah, the delay is about to end though. Arachnid Soul said the soccer league I follow just started their league a few weeks ago too. Arachnid Soul said the English league.
Oh wait, what? Why isn't it showing me the fucking... Why is this small? There we go. Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. What the fuck?
Corner Becky said Jalen Carter, Philly's best defender, got ejected before the first snap even happened. He spat in Doc's face.
What? That's all he... Wait, what? I mean, I'm not saying that's all he did. I mean, that's shitty of him. But before the snap? When did he even find the time to spit in his face before the snap? God damn. No wonder Philly's defense has only gotten me half a point right now.
Street Corner Becky.
Oh my god.
It was completely boneheaded.
I'm getting smoked because of that fucking guy. God damn. He had to spit in his face before the snap? Did he say something to him? Like, were they shit talking back and forth? He's got Philly. The person I'm playing against has Philly's tight end. Goddard, whatever this dude's name is. 6 receptions for 35 yards, and he's pounded me. That's unconscionable.
Corner Becky said didn't look like anything was happening between them.
Dude. Par for the course for me this fucking week.
Becky said Dallas Goddard. Yeah, it's like Goddard.
Just par for the course for me this week. Wake up, walk up to my car, ignition coil is ripped out, have to tow the car, gotta get a rental car, paying out my ass for that. As soon as, like, but I have to take a lift. I have to pay for a lift to get to the rental car company.
Actually, she said Goddard's correctly, Lowell.
I have to take a car to the rental car company. So I have to get an Uber or a Lyft there. So I order a Lyft. And as soon as I sit down in the lift, like, the fucking button from these cheap-ass pants that I bought off of Amazon pops off. So it's like, oh, great. So, like, the button on my pants pop off. So when I get out of the car at the fucking rental car place, I'm going to have to, like, keep my pants up with my hands. So I get to the rental car place, get the car, all that's fine, get home, sort out the button situation, put some fucking leftover meatloaf in the microwave. I put it in a bowl for whatever reason, because I was just like, I needed something to contain it while I was microwaving it. So I put it in the bowl, microwave it, and then I hear a pop. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I open the microwave, and for some reason the bowl split in two. The bowl split in fucking two. I've never seen that before. It was like a ceramic bowl that was microwavable. I've microwaved a million things in it, but for some reason, at this particular point in time, it just wanted to fucking explode on me. Man. Just like, I don't know what's going on. It just seems like whatever, and then work, of course, is just a constant series of debacle after debacle, which is part of why I'm really stressed and tired, waking up early for that too. And then for the fantasy league that I paid money into, that I probably wouldn't have done, honestly, if I had known I was gonna I would put my car in the shop, drop a ton of money on it, get it out of the shop, just to put it back into the shop to drop more money on it. I probably wouldn't have paid into this fantasy league, but in trying to see the silver lining, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe this will be an opportunity. Maybe I'll do good this year. Maybe I'll actually even win. I'll get the pot. Who knows? First game, even before the first snap, a key player that I rely on spit in the guy's fucking face and gets ejected. For no good goddamn reason, it sounds like. What else is going on this week? God damn. I need a vacation.
True Acolyte said yo.
Yo, what's up, True Acolyte? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight?
True Acolyte said dropping a like. Thumbs up emoji.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. When the ref saw Jalen Carter spit on Dak.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you? Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
That's pretty good. That's a good one. That's a good one. I just want to know why he did it.
Acolyte said been good. I'm the guy called Oak City Gamers.
Oh, hey, what's up, Oak City Gamers? Been a while. Welcome back. How have you been?
True Acolyte said no prob Bob.
Oh yeah, Amari Cooper retired. His last touchdown catch was as a Buffalo Bill. Why did Jalen Carter? Wait, what? What the fuck? What is going? What?
Street Corner Becky said I spent 3 to 4 hours staring at our burn pit today. Habitat for Humanity came out to help our roommate remove part of the fence that's falling apart. They put the parts in there and said it's just smoke. Don't worry, was it just smoke, y'all? True Acolyte said been good. 1.7 million views here with my shorts. Can't share that with anyone.
Wait, I spent 4 hours in a burn pit? What? After Humanity came to our house, part of the fence. Look apart, they put the parts in there and said it's just smoke, don't worry. It wasn't just smoke, y'all. What the fuck? They just burned random
True Acolyte said nobody around me gets that, doing that in 125 days without regurgitating content from others.
1.7 million views. Congratulations. Congratulations on that. Yeah, I certainly don't fucking do that. Why did he look? Why do you take a swing at him? That wasn't really a punch though. You could see his hand was open. You could see it was a slap. Yeah, that's an open-handed slap right there. But even still, god damn, these motherfuckers are spitting in each other's faces. Look at the follow-through on that slap too.
Corner Becky asks, did you watch the spit? True Acolyte said it's crazy.
Boom!
Said, yeah, thank you.
Hold on. Oh, boom! He slapped the shit out of him. And then had a strong fall through. That guy wasn't ejected? How was that guy not ejected? Slapping the shit out of someone. Oh boy, oh boy.
True Acolyte said you have a voice though. Many of us aren't using it as much as they could.
I have a voice. I mean, I'm not Bell. I haven't traded it in for legs yet.
Street Corner Becky asks Bell Reeve.
Oh. Wait, so this was before. Why were they so close to each other? Was this at like the coin toss or something?
True Acolyte said that last slap the shit out of someone could easily be a short. True Acolyte said lol. Street Corner Becky said right after the opening kickoff.
If only it was easy. It was as easy to make clips on YouTube as it is on TikTok, or as it is on Twitch to TikTok, I guess I should say. Although I guess you could make that clip off of Twitch and upload it to TikTok. Maybe I'll do that later. I don't give a shit about either of these two teams. So like I started watching some of it, but then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I don't like these guys. My only interest is this right here,
said I'm not wrong,
where I'm getting stomped. God damn. All right, it seems like it's gonna be another long it's gonna be another long fantasy football year for me.
True Acolyte said migrated over, yeah.
All right, tonight is Community React Thursday, so I'm gonna head over to my trusty channel. I put some videos in there myself because I came across them and was going to just watch them, but then I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna watch them, I may as well save it for the stream. They're definitely things I want to see. Wait, what the fuck is going on here?
True Acolyte said getting stomped could be a 15-6 short shoe.
Hey, Jesus, I don't know why that took so fucking long. Alright. This might be a car-heavy or train-heavy React stream, because there's been some train developments. There have been some train developments out there, and I definitely want to catch up. So, there have been some train developments. I want to catch up. About a week ago, Amtrak unveiled their new Acela version of their, I guess it's technically a high-speed rail, which looks neat. It's in the the East Coast corridor. It goes from, I believe, Boston to DC. Which by car looks like it's about a 7-hour.
Change my laundry. Lol.
Change your laundry. What? By car, it looks like that's about a 7-hour drive, but by way of high-speed rail in America, it looks like it's a 7-hour train ride. So, I guess figure that one out if you want. I want to try to figure out why. Well, part of the reason is because the tracks are not configured for high-speed rail. So I know that's one reason, but trains are awesome, which they are. The YouTube channel Trains Are Awesome has put out their, I guess, comprehensive review of this new train. So I'm going to watch that and see if they have anything else to say to either sell me on this train or make me realize that high-speed rail in America is doomed.
160 miles per hour, room for 386 people. This is the next generation Acela. It's set to usher in a new era of travel in the Northeast, and today you get a first look. As we travel from Washington, D.C. to New York City, we'll answer all your questions about America's fastest train.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom. I am standing in front of Washington Union Station. This is a big video. I can barely contain my excitement. After years of waiting,
I can tell.
we are finally riding the next generation Acela. This is the fastest train in the Americas. Let's go inside.
What better place to start this trip than Washington Union Station? This magnificent building is one of my favorite stations.
And I've heard a lot of good things about this particular station and the trains in DC. Apparently, the nation's capital actually does know how to build good transit. Why that doesn't expand out to the rest of the country, beyond me, but...
Walk through the doors and you'll find yourself in the main hall. Under the watchful eye of 46 plaster legionnaires, people in suits head towards the Capitol, families embrace after a long trip, and weary-eyed travelers wait in line for coffee. Union Station opened in 1908 as part of a plan to consolidate all rail service in Washington.
Damn, even the birds
into
are
one
enjoying this place.
Before that, trains crisscrossed the National Mall. Today, the station serves as the southern end of Amtrak's electrified Northeast Corridor, where frequent intercity trains depart to cities like Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. Long-distance trains stop here as well, as do commuter trains. Union Station can be accessed by using the Metro Red Line.
So if you're watching this video when it came out, that means it's Thursday, August 28th, and it's the official launch day of the next-gen Acela. However, I am filming this on Wednesday, August 27th.
I like the little
now,
model they
full
have.
Disclosure, because I believe in doing things like this up front, I was invited by Amtrak to be on the media train today. So it's the day before the real launch, but we're going to go see the train.
Kudos to him for
I'm gonna
disclosing
give you
that.
guys a full look. And then Amtrak did pay for my ticket back, but I'm going to try to remain as objective as possible, although I am very excited. So after I signed in, a staff member guided me to Gate F, which is where the celebration was being held. I got my media badge, which was so cool, and then I stopped by the merch table. They had some great swag. I got a tote bag, hats, stickers, and a journal.
Okay, I think this guy might like trains a little more than I do.
And here we have our first look at the next-gen Acela.
We try to...
And here we
I mean, it's not a it's not a bad looking train at the very least. It kind of looks like a somewhat like a little brother version of the Shinkansen. So, not too bad. Not too bad so far. Not too bad.
we have our first look at the next-gen Acela.
Not done yet. We're just getting started.
These trains are electric, and they have a power car on each end, basically acting like a locomotive. In between, there are 9 passenger cars. So the very first thing I wanted to check out was the first class car, marked by the big red door. But unfortunately, when I tried, somebody inside was giving an interview or a press conference or something. I don't know, but they told me to come back after the speeches. Well, spoiler alert, after the speeches, we all had to board the train, and the first class car was reserved for members of the Department of Transportation, so I never actually got to see this, which I was really bummed out about, and I wish that that could have been organized.
I have to imagine that members of the Trump Department of Transportation, who themselves canceled high-speed rail in California and in Texas, like the fact that these motherfuckers are sitting in first class on this, I feel like this dude probably should have walked in there and been like, "Yeah, you guys aren't allowed in here. You can't. You're banned. You're banned. This is for real train heads only. Train aficionados rise up. Throw these motherfuckers out." Like you can watch this train from the vantage point of the rails. Get out there on the rails, and you can watch how fast this train goes firsthand. Like that's probably how this dude should have handled that. That's how I would have liked to have handled it. Like, how can you sit there and fucking take advantage of first class high speed, quote unquote high speed rail in America that was developed years before you ever took power, while actively fucking trashing projects all across the country where this sort of shit would be immeasurably helpful, especially in Texas, where all of our roads are constantly under construction. The cost of that constant construction always throwing our fucking city budgets out of whack. And then everyone, like all the massive amounts of accidents and death that takes place on our overburdened roadway infrastructure. Trains would be an easy win to alleviate a lot of that pressure and additional cost. But we get motherfuckers like these dudes who are celebrating this in first class that cancel it on us. I guess because Biden or Buttigieg or whatever. But it's not like they're spinning up new projects. You never hear about, oh, the Trump administration approved a high-speed rail project in Utah or some shit like that. It's not it's not like, oh, we're going to cancel anything Biden did because it's good, and then we're going to do our version of it. No, they just fucking cancel it and then walk away and then talk about fucking how we need to sell dually F-350s to fucking people in France with tiny-ass roads.
is better. Car number 1 is the first class car. Cars 2 through 5 are business class. Car number 6 is the cafe, while 7 and 8 are once again business class. Finally, car number 9 is also business class, but it functions as a quiet car. The new Acellas mark a significant capacity increase over the old ones. The trains themselves are longer than the old Acellas, 9 passenger
These are nice looking
cars
trains, and this is a
6,
nice looking
while
station
each
too.
individual car is a little bit shorter than the ones on the old trains. That still gives the new Acela 82 more seats than the old one. But there will also be more trains, 28 new ones instead of 20 old ones, some of which are also already out of commission. Once all the new trains are delivered and have entered service, Amtrak can run more frequent Acela service on the Northeast Corridor. Starting today, there will be an initial 5 sets ready to enter service. As time goes on, more and more will enter until each set has replaced an old Acela car. When booking on the Amtrak website, there will be a little banner saying Next Gen Acela, which will notify you what train type you'll have. High-speed rail fans will recognize this face. It's the same as the new TGVs that are testing in France. The original Acela power cars were based on the older TGVs, and now these ones are like the new TGVs.
Behold, the infamous gap.
Yes, I know this gap annoys people. I can't say that I love it myself. But does it have a reason for existing, or is it just bad design that the power cars and the passenger cars have a different profile? It does have a reason, and I'll let you decide if it's a good one or not. But let me do that once we're inside and on our way. We've waited long enough to see the inside of these cars.
It's because we aren't human to them? Tube full of demons? Yeah, I mean, that's a part of the reason.
The trains have a retractable...
That's a part of it too, but I feel like that's a lesser part. The real reason is because trains are a threat to the airline industry as a first order thing, and it's a threat to the automotive industry as a second order thing. The reason we don't have high-speed rail in Texas is because back when it was proposed in, I think either late 80s or early 90s, Southwest Airlines killed it. They killed it because they were making a lot of money on short distance flights from Houston to Dallas, or Dallas to, El Paso, or wherever the flights that people needed to get to within the state of Texas, or even just on the edges of the state of Texas to interior Texas. They were making a lot of money on those interior flights, and connecting all the cities with high-speed rail would have completely killed that. So they shat on that right away. And then, of course, Firestone Tires, or Goodyear, one of the tire companies, also contributed to the death of high-speed rail in a lot of different places. Just our car-reliant infrastructure makes a lot of different industries money. And anything that's a threat to that, they will come together to kill it. So that's really the main reason. But there is also a tinge of trains are for... That's kind of how they sell it. I think it was Gilf Connoisseur who was mentioning when we were watching the China the China video, the video of the dude that was walking around Chongqing, I think. He was mentioning how a rail project in his city was canceled because a lot of the NIMBYs there were saying that it was going to bring in crime or poor people, basically. And that was a viable rationale to kill that project there. People are afraid that undesirables ride the train, and you don't want to bring undesirables into our city. So all of those things factor into it. Yo, what's up, Haunted Taco? Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? Trains are also a threat to fuel and tire companies. Yeah, absolutely. And probably even EV battery companies or something. Well, I mean, so many trains are becoming electric now that I feel like even EV companies would get in on that. Or battery manufacturers, or both. Like, that's really the thing. You just got to convince Ford or GM to, build some trains. Be like, hey, the government is going to pay you an insane amount of money to build some electric high-speed trains for us. Ford trains. Let's get that going. Anything that makes our life better, we don't deserve. That's what's up. No, you're right. Disgusting lobbying and all that shit. Yep, cars are required for life in my town. So dumb. It's required for life in virtually every city that's not L.A. Or not L.A., but every city that's not New York or Chicago. It's especially required in L.A. Poor people are great. They keep rich people rich. If the local government cared, they'd do more. Bike lanes and green trails aren't enough. Man, that's the only thing. The only thing that Austin wants to do is build bike lanes, and they're all worthless and incredibly dangerous. They're not even like protected bike lanes. It's like a road that people travel like fucking 50 miles an hour down, and then right near the side of the lane is just like a painted white line with a little bike icon in it and like a couple of flimsy sticks that, you know, if somebody swerves, if somebody's like distracted, it swerves into that lane, those little sticks aren't going to stop a fucking car from plowing into them. I'm doing good, eating a good slice of cheesecake. Nice. That's the paranoid chicks they say about buses here. Good evening, peeps. I hope you're all safe and stoned. Yeah, what's up, Genetic Movie Farms? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Tire companies could develop bushings for a more comfortable ride. I mean, yeah, all of these industries could always readapt. That's not the issue. The issue is the ask of them to readapt. Like right now, it's been a very up until basically about a year ago. And maybe it is still profitable for Goodyear. I haven't really looked at that. Cars are becoming increasingly cost prohibitive to develop, to manufacture. And I actually saw something to that point. Let me see if I can find it. I saw somebody post this on Twitter. To the point of cars being extremely cost prohibitive to manufacture, that cost prohibitiveness is translating to cars being outlandishly cost prohibitive, especially in this economy, to even just flat out own. So we're starting to see Google searches for "give car back" at near all-time highs. Give car back, shooting through the fucking roof. Yeah, I mean, this is a very like kind of a dumb metric to kind of follow to get a general vibe of how people are approaching their car buying or how people feel comfortable car buying. I told you, I kind of want a new car. I do. I have that itch. But at the same time, my car's paid off and I really, really, really don't want to buy a car in this market and pick up a fucking monthly car payment that like rivals the cost of rent, you know, and then fucking top tier insurance on top of that. Like, I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that. And most people don't want to do that anymore. For a little while, you saw people go to little nuts with their car payments, but there's a reason why give car back is, you know, spiking in Google searches at the very least, along with, I guess, bankruptcy lawyer, which is bleak. This is bleak. The only people who file for bankruptcy are people who either have incredible amounts of medical debt or like businesses. And neither, this line shooting up, if that's an indicator for either of those two things, it's not a good sign for our economy. That is a shocking canary in a coal mine. But again, this is a dumb metric. This isn't like this isn't like a scientific thing. It's just interesting that Google search trends are showing that this is what people are increasingly more and more interested in. I live in a town of 700. Just to go to Little Caesars, it's 12 miles. Sounds similar to the outskirts that I live at. Why change when they're plenty profitable now? I mean, that's the thing. Maybe soon they won't be so profitable. Not if people keep the trend of Googling give car back. Problem is, like, it's not like, again, America's car reliant infrastructure. It's not like they have a lot that they can turn to. Like, what are you going to do once you give car back? You got to ride public transit? Hope you live in a city that allows for that in a comfortable enough way. Michelin 5 stars made to sell tires. No, the Michelin stars come from their travel guide, and they would rate restaurants on, usually on roads that, you know, people would take road trips on. If they were recommending people, hey, if you want to hop in your car, go on a nice scenic road trip, make sure you stop at this restaurant. This is a great restaurant to eat at. We give it 2 stars, and that's where the Michelin star thing comes from. And it was totally a way to sell tires. They wanted people taking road trips so they could wear those fucking tires down, and then stop by your local Michelin store to replace your tires. So I'm hearing more reports about Eastland, Texas, and Eastland Farm, or Eastland family that owned Camp Mystic. Is Eastland a sundown town? Some people are saying the family didn't allow black kids at the camp. I really genuinely don't know anything about that. I think it was just, I don't know if it was so much they didn't allow black kids. I mean, I don't know either way in general, but I do know that it was a pretty ritzy camp. Like, you needed money. you needed money to get there. My Corolla is perfectly beautiful. I miss having a Corolla. I have a Corolla and the wife has a Forester. I like Subarus as well. Can you shed any light on this? Like, I know the history of our couple local former sundown towns in Illinois safety. I mean, it's Texas, so there are a lot of sundown towns, particularly out east. Like, the closer you get to fucking Louisiana, the more deep south the state becomes. But for that reason, I generally don't do a whole lot of Texas road tripping, so I'm not really super familiar, especially with that part of the state. Bro, I've always owned used vehicles and fixed them. Used to do cannabis shows and grow videos, but after the pandemic, the interest fell off and I quit. That's lame. Walk by horse. I had a vodka dragon once. It was the dopest thing. Yes, the travel guide encourages people to drive and the tires you ride on. One of those restaurants, Nigel, I never know how to pronounce this name. It's Vietnamese. It's like Ing? Or is it In? I know of Nguyen, but I don't know what NG actually is pronounced. Visit on his live stream the other day was a small hole in the wall in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It was very unassuming besides the line. Malaysia would be a cool place to visit for sure. Malaysia and Singapore. I'll happily teach gardening or cooking, preserving to anyone. That would be really cool, Farms, if you did gardening and cooking videos. Like how to grow your own shit and then how to use your own shit in recipes. On Michelin Guide, I forgot that part. We'd like to get a truck. I mean, I kind of want to get a truck. I wanted to get an F-150 Lightning, but unfortunately, the investment in an EV is, it requires more than just buying the car, at least in Texas. Looks like the camp was $3 to $6K for 2 weeks, and the family apparently built their fortune on slave holdings. Oh, so it was like generational wealth passed down, huh? Fucking if I knew, I had no idea. That's crazy. Ung? That would be cool. I love homesteading stuff.
Step to close the gap between the train and the platform.
Come with me. We're about to take our very first steps onto the next generation Acela. Oh, that new train smell. Does anybody know what new train smell is?
No,
Like, I know
of course
exactly
not.
what it smells like, but what causes it? If you know, let me know in the comments. Anyway, this is the business class configuration, a 2x2 layout with these gray leather seats. I can't wait to try them out, but unfortunately I will have to a little bit because we are being called back to the platform. They're telling us to go back to the end of the platform because apparently a celebration is starting. I've
Wait,
never
what?
been to a celebration before.
I thought they told everybody to board.
Across the country were created to build these trains in the United States, and we plan to keep on building them.
I have never seen a project bring together a company with the way this one has.
So we have been able to see how much power of transformation of a new high-speed corridor.
All that's left to say is, all aboard!
Oh, Jesus. That guy was like born to be a conductor. God damn, I've never seen a more conductor fucking coded dude. I mean, he could have a little bit more juice in his all aboard, but you know what? I'll give him points still. I'll give him points. This guy's so fucking happy. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of his happiness. I'm gonna find this kid and I'm gonna jump him for being happy that he could ride America's one halfway decent train.
When we got our media badges, they came with a sticker telling us which car to sit in for the ride. I got assigned to car 5, a business class car right next to the cafe. Shall we be those people and check out the toilet first? So we have our, okay, European style button toilet.
It's better than the bathroom in most gas stations, honestly.
Changing table. Sink. Let's see.
If that's anything like the water in a plane, never use it. Never use it. Bring your own hand sanitizer or those wipes, those wet wipe things.
So far, it's just the water that's working.
Why are we looking at the
So
floor?
Here we have 2 luggage storage racks. Although I think this one is where you put big suitcases. And this one is for smaller ones. And then there's the racks above, of course.
I don't think that the Shinkansen had racks above head. I think everybody had to put their luggage in the storage by the doors. And I think I may be mistaken, but I remember having to leave my luggage. There may have been one. My luggage was kind of big. There may have been an overhead thing, but I don't recall that. Because like when the Shinkansen stops at a station, you have fucking basically seconds to get off that train. And if you miss that window, then you're on to the next station that's like 200 miles away. So you gotta be on top of it. And as soon as they hit that station, those doors open. People fly out of the seats. They have to get their luggage, of course. So it's convenient that getting their luggage means walking towards the exit rather than standing up, staying in place, and having to shuffle above your head to get this or that, especially if these things shift and slide. A part of how travel on high-speed rail gets cut down with in between all those stops is how quick it is to unload passengers per stop, because those minutes add up. Like if you've got to do 6 or 7 stops and each stop you're standing still for 5 minutes or so, like that adds up big time. So there's a priority. There's a reason why there's a priority for the Shinkansen to get you out on that platform as soon as possible. It keeps their trains running quickly and swiftly, which for a train that already goes above like 200 miles an hour, it makes travel really fucking pleasant. Like, again, Tokyo to Kyoto, 6 hours in a car, like a little over 2 hours on a train, although ours was a little under 2 hours, I think. We had stops. We had stops too, and whenever we had a stop, the first time that we stopped, I was like, oh God, how long are we going to be here before we move it again? But it wasn't too long after I had that thought that we started moving again. So it's interesting, these little things right here where it's like, I wonder how that affects the overall experience. It's a mixture of pleather smell, carpet, and foam. Maybe a touch of ABS, new train smell, new car smell, new plane smell. I'm only familiar with new car smell. Can't say I've ever been on a new plane or train. How dare you smile? By that regard, it would be better to be late on the train, so your luggage is first getting out. Yeah. Yeah. Mine was in the kind of towards the back, but you know, people, they walk towards the exit, they get their luggage pretty fucking quickly and they're gone. As soon as they get it, they step off onto the platform. So it's not like I had to wait or anything. In fact, it put pressure on me to not fuck up. So as soon as I got to where my luggage was, I snagged that shit fast and ran. You know, I did not want to miss my exit. That probably sucks for disabled and elderly. I can't say I saw too many disabled. I guess elderly, they were moving pretty swift too. If they needed assistance, then I think that one of the I don't even know what you call them. They're not flight attendants because you're not on flight. I guess a train attendant, one of those people would have helped him.
So I've been on the train for a few minutes now and I have not tried out the seats yet. Let's do that. So I switched to a table seat because, you know, it's nice to have the space. The table is one of those that kind of folds out to become bigger. Also because the seat aligns with the window better here. So about the seats, they're very comfortable, a little bit firmer than the old ones, but that's an age thing. They recline, but they have that same recline as the Midwest Venture cars where the seat cushion on the bottom scoots forward.
Oh, that's
rather
interesting.
Than that the seat back leans back. And then
that's interesting.
Features that they have,
I've never seen that before.
Reading lights located in the seat cushion.
The Amtrak's a celebration train, the first and historic ride on our next gen Acela high-speed service from Washington, D.C. to New York City, making an intermediate stop in Philadelphia's 30th Street station. We welcome our special guests on board for this incredible day. Before we depart, I'd like your attention, please. At Amtrak, your safety is our priority. So please take a moment to review the safety instructions card behind the seat back in front of you, and make note of the emergency exit instructions and signs throughout the train. When storing your personal items, place smaller items on the overhead baggage rack or underneath the seat in front of you. Store larger bags in the luggage towers in your car. Here are some things to know. Cafe Acela is in car number 6. Our service attendants will be making announcements about the food and beverage offerings after our departure. Recycling and trash containers are available in between each car. Enjoy our smooth, comfortable, high-speed ride to New York City.
I want to get a... How fast is it actually...
So the big question, of course, is how do I charge my phone or my laptop? Well, all this...
It looks like it's moving at a fairly normal speed.
You've got the USB ones in here. They're not the USB-C, but, you know, these trains are a little you have your regular American style power socket. For wheelchair users, there's a designated space, and they too have power sockets in this kind of console type thingy. Additionally, the train windows are larger than on the older trains, and they have these blinds that roll down very easily. Anyway, let's have a wander around the train. We'll walk at least as far as we're allowed to.
I mean, it's a nice looking train for sure.
So car 5 was clearly the influencer car, except I think there were only 3 of us on this portion of the trip. It was nice and empty. Occasionally, some news crews from places like ABC News, Bloomberg would come in and do their little spiel. I gotta say, I think they do more retakes than I do when recording stuff.
You see,
but an advantage.
do you see how slow it was going there?
News,
because it's
Bloomberg
taking the
would come
corner.
in and do their little.
How slow it's going because it's taking the corner. A part of the problem with this train, it has a max speed of 160 miles an hour, but very, very rarely does it ever hit that on its trip up along the coast on these rails, because the rails, there's a lot of NIMBYism that occurred in building the tracks itself, where people did not want trains coming around on their property. So instead of like a more straighter line, there are areas where the rail will bend and turn this way or that way. And because of that, obviously a high-speed train can't maintain that speed going around a turn like that, or it'll just fly off the fucking rails. So it has to, and especially since these rails aren't generally built for high speed, it has to slow down to take those corners, those turns. So because it has to do that fairly frequently, that's the reason why actually, like, people were noting that this version of the Acela train is actually slower than the last one, because it has to slow down a little more for these corners. Just silly. It's American high-speed rail. When in those instances where we do get it, somehow it goes slower than the last one.
Spiel. I gotta say, I think they do more retakes than I do when recording stuff. But an advantage of being in car 5 was that car 6 is the cafe car, so it was a easy stroll to get some goodies. If you've watched my videos on the old Acela, you'll know that the cafe car is my favorite, but it is in dire need of an upgrade. Well, the next-gen Acela definitely brings that upgrade. You've still got your regular counter that prepares hot food. I love the digital displays that show the menu. It's definitely an upgrade. The cafe now also features cart service, and they briefly demonstrated how it would roll down the aisles of the passenger compartments. So we're in the tunnels on our approach to Baltimore Penn Station, and I just checked out the cafe car. One of the perks of being in car 5 is car 6 is the cafe. And this next-gen Acela has a new concept that I haven't seen on other Amtrak trains yet, the self-serve kiosk. So some of the refrigerated food and the sodas and stuff, you can grab them yourself and then check out at, a little screen, a kiosk. For hot food,
The Acela, America's only high-speed rail, would achieve this distance in 6 hours and 45 minutes. That sounds right. That sounds accurate. China's astonishing maglev train is faster than most planes versus Amtrak's new Acela trains are here. They're moving slower than the old ones. Pick your fighter. Pick your fighter. This dude wants to fuck the train. Hopefully this is high speed. Otherwise, it's just luxury for business class. Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what it is until they convince people to fucking replace the tracks and do some eminent domain shit. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, what's up, Wisp? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Like what happened in Japan from seconds from disaster. I don't know what that means. Time to bring back Wild West style train robberies. It's slow enough for that. It's definitely, I mean, can you imagine doing a train heist on like the Shinkansen or a Chinese maglev? From what I'm reading, from the reading I am doing, it looks like the whole extended Eastland family worked at the camp. You're fucking diving deep on that on that camp. And there was a tax issue being now blamed on the guy who died by the rest of the family. That sounds right. That sounds like some fucking trust fund family succession shit. This is all being dug up by reporters who wanted to find out why it was removed from flood maps. Apparently, that was to get lower insurance premiums. That sounds right. Hello, it is me, and I ate a bunch of ice cream, and my organs are sad. Yo, what's up, Toaster? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Well, you're doing poorly, it sounds, so sorry to hear that. But on the plus side, you did get to eat a lot of ice cream, so there is that. So when I took the Southwest Chief to California, I got to check out the kitchen with the chef. Actually more spacious than I would have thought. Extremely efficient, even if crowded. Oh, that's cool. I saw a guy fuck a train once. But they have better food. Wait, what? But they have better food. Well, we didn't exactly pick our fighter. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're stuck with the fighter you got. But instead of horses, the Rough Riders are on e-bikes. E-bikes can't go as fast as a horse. Well, I guess maybe they can if they're strong enough. I sent you something critically important to the DMs, by the way. Yeah, when you say critically important, that's my sign that it's going to be something completely unhinged. The food comment was because he kept focusing on the cafe car. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're going to be stuck on a train for 7 hours, you better damn well have a good cafe car on hand. I'm pretty sure the Shinkansen has a decent cafe car, but I never got a chance to use it because I was watching the Japanese countryside and recording for my video. Then I took a nap, and then I woke up, and then I was at my destination, so... But if I had to be on that train for 7 hours, you better fucking believe I would have been in that cafe cart.
Food, you still have to go to the attendant and they'll prepare it in the back for you. It looks beautiful in there. But today they're only serving the cold food and they're not charging us. So I grabbed a sandwich and a soda. So because it was a celebration press and dignitary run, they had some extra treats out for people to grab. So I had a few of those, but I also made sure to grab something from the kiosk since I wanted to try it out. I got a ham sandwich and a soda. I'm not gonna lie, the ride itself is a little bit less smooth than I was expecting. I was walking around the train and there were quite a bit of vibrations, and obviously you need a little bit of sea legs to get used to the tilts, but I mean, these seats are incredibly comfortable. I don't really want to get up again. Maybe the only time I'll ever ride on a train that just passes through Baltimore. We're not stopping until Philadelphia.
One tiny thing I don't love is that when you're at the table seat, the pole for the table kind of gets in the way of getting up. But that does remind me that I have to review the seats that aren't table seats. They're basically the same, they just have the tray table, just like the old trains, except unlike the old trains, it comes with a cup holder and it's not constantly broken.
It's been fun seeing some friends, meeting some new ones, but we've got a little bit of time until Philadelphia, so let's answer some of those questions.
So Amtrak is calling this train the Next Gen Acela. Some people call it the Acela 2, but perhaps you've also heard the name Avelia Liberty. So what are these trains actually called? At Amtrak, they're called the Next Generation Acela. Likely, once the old Acelas fully retire, I imagine it will just be Acela. Avelia Liberty is the product name that Alstom, the manufacturer of these trains, has given it.
This guy has way too much.
Train builders do. Think of
Okay, this guy is way in the weeds of fucking train lore. He knows the manufacturer name that the train builders give these things. That's like knowing the code names for consoles like the Dolphin or the Dural, which the Dural was the code name for the Dreamcast. Dolphin, I believe, was the code name for the GameCube. You have not heard? Train heists are back. They have insider knowledge of the contents of the trains and are hitting them for high-end products that they can move easily. Nike's Electronics, I've not heard of this at all, but send a link. Send me a link. I'm curious about these modern train heists. Does the Acela still stop for freight trains? That I don't know. I don't know if they... I guess it makes sense if they share a track with freight lines, since obviously these aren't high-speed rails. Maybe. That was my biggest problem taking the train places. I've seen that people have fallen asleep on Japanese trains, and sometimes they're courteous enough to wake you up. I sent you an NPR article about the modern train robberies in your reaction thread on Discord. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Modern train robberies. What the fuck is going on? Daring train thieves target BNSF Railway, stealing $2 million worth of Nike and other goods. Daring train thieves. Man, they're like romanticizing them almost. A series of brazen train robberies have been carried out across the western United States. I like how it's still in the West. It's still in the West. That's funny. Okay, western United States, resulting in the theft of millions of dollars worth of Nike merchandise. While the thieves are not galloping away on horseback, the crime sprees evoke memories of notorious train robberies of the Old West. In one criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court in Arizona, 11 people have been charged in connection with a theft that took place on January 13th. Authorities say train burglaries have increased over the past 2 years, specifically targeting BNSF Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway trains. The latest wave of robberies was first reported by the Los Angeles Times. The Times reports that there have been at least 10 robberies since last March, during which thieves have stolen approximately $2 million worth of Nike merchandise. Holy shit. You know, a friend of mine has been, she buys a lot of secondhand Nikes off of Mercari for suspiciously cheap. I wonder if this has anything to do with that. These heists are believed to be connected with an international crime syndicate based in the Mexican state of Sinaloa. The complaint says authorities in that case say the thieves target high-value containers on the eastbound trains traveling throughout California and Arizona. The criminal complaint further describes the thieves' modus operandi. Once on board the trains, the robbers use bolt cutters and saws to break open container locks and go to work, stealing electronics, footwear, and other valuable items. In the January heist in Perrin, Arizona, thieves targeted a BNSF train transporting Nike products. The perpetrators cut the train's braking system air hose, which triggered a dangerous automatic emergency stop. God damn. Once the train was halted, the burglars unloaded thousands of pairs of valuable unreleased Nike Air Jordan sneakers, hiding them in nearby bushes until they could be retrieved. Unbeknownst to the thieves, some of the containers were equipped with tracking devices. Law enforcement officers eventually apprehended the criminals in 2 separate vehicles filled with hundreds of cases of stolen goods. The shoes, which are not set to be released to the public until March 14th, are expected to retail for $225 a pair. That's a different sort of robbery. They stopped one robbery so that they could initiate another sort of robbery. Damn. Thief on thief crime. Thief on thief violence. Court documents reveal that of the 11 people arrested in connection with the case, 9 were living in the United States without legal status, primarily from Sinaloa, where authorities say the crime ring is headquartered. One suspect is a U.S. citizen, while the other has been undergoing asylum proceedings since May 2024. Okay, train heists. We really are going back to the past. Ooh, where am I? Lost my spot. You know what? I'm here for it. Yep, Dolphin is GameCube. Okay, well, I got that one right. Even though I was never a GameCube fan. He's a train bro and it makes him happy. Taco, stop trying to defend his happiness. I'm going to shit on him whenever I can. Out of sheer jealousy for his happiness and his ability to be happy by these things. This guy's into trains like I'm into college football. College football knowledge. Also DM you? Okay, I'll check that out a little later. Well, to be fair, there's also still largely nothing out there. Makes sense to Rob since there aren't commuter trains. How do you think MJ became a billionaire? No, I know, but still, I mean, it's fucking crazy for a pair of shoes, in my opinion. Aliens? What? Al Iggles? The fuck does that mean? Al Iggles?
The Siemens Velaro or the Stadler Flirt. Theoretically,
what?
Other agencies could also
Seaman and Flirt?
Stadler Flirt. This is a common thing train builders do. Think of the Siemens Velaro or the Stadler Flirt. Theoretically, other agencies could also buy their own Avelia Liberty, but they couldn't call it the Acela. That's an Amtrak name. This is actually part of the reason why the passenger cars and the power cars have profiles that don't match. Amtrak wanted a tilting train. The Northeast Corridor isn't a dedicated high-speed line like you see in other countries. It's an old railway line, upgraded in different sections to let trains travel at higher speeds. But that does mean that it has quite a few curves. Tilting technology allows a train to go faster when there is a curve, because it mitigates some of the effects of the curve and gives passengers a more comfortable experience on board. Because the tilt is specifically for passengers, it's not needed on the power cars. Now, Alstom has built lots of tilting trains for different countries. Think of the famous Pendolino trains that run in places like Switzerland, Italy. The passenger cars on the new Acela are based on the Pendolino. The power cars are instead based on the Avelia Horizon, the new high-speed trains that Alstom is building for the TGV in France. Those trains do not tilt. Why would you combine the two, though? The examples of the tilting trains that I brought up earlier, they don't have power cars. The whole train matches. Well, there's no confirmed answer to this question, but here's the most likely answer. Speed. See, the top speed of the Acela is 160 miles per hour, a speed any of Alstom's tilting products can reach. But it seems that Alstom was hoping that the Avelia Liberty would also attract more customers than just Amtrak. See, out west, there are some high-speed rail projects that will eventually need trains capable of much higher speeds, up to 220 miles per hour. Alstom's tilting trains can't reach these speeds, but their power cars can. So it is said that they designed the Avelia Liberty with future orders in mind, to create something that they can sell to California High-Speed Rail, for example. We'll see how that goes, though. I know Brightline West just went with Siemens.
I mean, the CEO of Alstom said it himself. These are the most modern trains in the world, according to him, because they combine the high-speed power cars with the tilting passenger cars.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we will arrive at our first station stop, Philadelphia's 30th Street Station. If you're leaving us at 30th Street Station, please take this time to gather all personal belongings. Check the overhead luggage pockets in front of you and double check all around and under
I
your
wish this
seat.
guy had noted the time. I wonder how long it took to get from DC to Philly. I wonder how long it took to get from DC to Philly. I wish he had noted that. Good news, I am now high. Bad news, I was playing No Man's Sky.
How amazing is it to see?
I was playing No Man's Sky, and this game can be fucking scary now. Good news, I played No Man's Sky, and bahahaha, you said semen. I've been wanting to play that, actually. I read an article about a recent update of No Man's Sky, and they were talking about how many people are fucking playing it, and I was like, you know, I like that game, but it's been a while since I jumped into it. And the last time I jumped into it, they had changed some of the UI elements, and it was weird to me, and I couldn't wrap my mind around it. But I just need to update it. I need to do a stream, a long stream, so I can get used to the controls and shit again. Lol, I'm playing No Man's Sky as we speak. See, everyone's playing it. I gotta jump back into it. Oh yeah, Devin, they added mechs and buildable ships to No Man's Sky. Oh, mechs? Hell yeah. Okay, now I definitely need to jump into it. How big is this fucking thing now? Oh my god, 26 gigs? Holy fucking mother of lord. Do I even have that available? Oh Jesus, that's pushing me right up to the fucking line. I'm gonna have to figure out what to uninstall before I jump into this one. Probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. CJH was playing it earlier on Perp stream, running around in a mech. I hadn't thought about those dudes in a while. This past update, Voyager is basically an entire middle finger to Starfield. I mean, look at the new art. That's Constellation's armor and ship. I mean, No Man's Sky was always cool. I just the reason why I stopped playing it is because what the fuck is Light No Fire? Much of the technology we introduced to Voyager is shared with our next game, Light No Fire, which is a truly open world, a shared Earth-sized planet with real oceans to traverse. Up here they go, making these big-ass promises again. Although they eventually got No Man's Sky to kind of live up to their OG promises. It just took a while. Needing large boats and crews. We love that we get to share this tech. Needing large boats and crews. What the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? Why is it choppy? I don't want to watch that, but not if it's all fucking 2 frames per second. All right, I'll watch that after the train video then. I'll queue that up because I do want to see this, but we need to finish. Nope, we need to finish the train video first.
All these new Acellas in the yard in Philadelphia, but this time from the window of one of the new Acellas. A big improvement, if you ask me. Now, there is one more question that I'm sure is at the top of everybody's mind. What is up with the delay? It's August 2025. Weren't these supposed to enter service way earlier? Well, that is a hard question to answer. Nobody seems to be able to agree. The original Acela entered service in 2000. 16 years later, in 2016, it was announced that Alstom had been selected to build the replacement fleet for the original Acela. 2016 was 9 years ago. For reference, Obama was president. But we couldn't know what the next decade would have in store. Alstom is a French company, like I said, famous for building trains like the TGV. But Buy America laws dictate that the trains would have to be built in the United States.
so they were constructed at Alstom's factory in Hornell, in upstate New York. They were supposed to enter service in 2021. The construction involved suppliers from 27 states and 1,300 American jobs. It was a $2.5 billion investment in the American economy. The first set was delivered for testing in 2020. The hope was for it to enter service in 2022. The date pushed back because of production delays caused by the pandemic, which is fair. There were lots of trains in Europe too that were delayed for entering service because of pandemic supply chain issues. They also had to modify the design a little bit because this was essentially a European train being built for American tracks. These modifications continued throughout the testing period. For example, the pantograph on one of the prototypes had trouble.
You're the greatest human being on earth.
What the fuck? Oh, Taka, you hit me with the fucking Bernie. What the fuck? Mechs have been in the game for years. I mean, I hadn't played in that long. Oh, you spent the fucking points on this.
Assemble.
Okay. CJ stopped by here in the chat a few months ago. Yes, he did. I remember that now. The time between DC and Philly on Acela is just under 2 hours. 1 hour, 56 minutes. Okay. Build Up Ships is awesome. Sony pushes Sean, the creator, to make it an MMO, which was never his goals. Devin, do we find what you're gonna play instead of Valheim again? Maybe, Toaster, maybe. 26 fucking gigs is a beefy taco. No offense, taco. Light No Fire is basically No Man's Sky, but on one planet. Obama has been sacrificed. Yes, I removed Obama. I did have to remove Obama. So the one that you just redeemed. Oh, I talked about this on stream the other day. I'm setting it up. Basically, here's what it is. You have those channel points. I forget how much it costs, but clearly you've been here for a while, so you've spent the channel points. You've had them. You spent it. I have these hero clicks. Basically, you could choose which one you want. Where's my camera? There we go. Nope, I don't want to move that. Whatever the fuck that was. Unlock that. Here we go. So I have these hero click things, and basically you redeem that. What I go to, oh shit, I forgot. I have my little label maker over there. I'm going to print out your username, your screen name. I'm going to attach it to this guy, and you're going to join my roster of heroes and or villains over on my newly constructed shelf here. So that's what, and you're going to join my squad officially. That's what squad me up means. So I've got a shit ton of these fucking hero clicks. Should you want to choose which one you want to be. I've got comic book Quicksilver. I've got Captain America with the first Avenger shield. Juggernaut. Oh, this is a bad time to be blind. Well, sorry. I don't think I could do any better than this, honestly. And I have very poor lighting in here. I think this is this isn't Nick Fury, but it's one of his cohorts. I forget this fucking guy's name. Who is this dude? I forget his name. He's one of Nick Fury's, one of his bros. Anyways, I got Spider-Man. I got a Bullseye. I've got, who the fuck is this guy? Constrictor? Who the fuck is Constrictor? I've never seen this man before in my life. He's got like cables and shit coming out of him. There's a scroll agent with the fucking shotgun. There's a Mr. Hyde from Jekyll and Hyde. I didn't even know that was a Marvel thing. Phil Coulson? No, it's not Coulson. It's I could look it up. Jesus, man, my lighting is so bad right now to show these. He's a black dude. I remember him from X-Men comics back in the 90s. Boomerang. I thought this was a DC guy. Marvel has a Boomerang too? Well, there's Boomerang, Marvel edition. Pyro. Classic X-Men villain, Pyro. And a lot more. I've got a ton of dudes. Got a ton of dudes in here. Doctor Strange, who is like supposed to be floating on that little thing. Same thing with Hobgoblin. And got a Blade. Dual wielding. So, yeah, anyways. That's what that new reward is. Anybody that wants to be a member of the crew, I'll put your name on one of these guys, and I'll put you on display. You'll have your display. You'll have your representation on my display, which I think is you should consider it an honor and a privilege.
Avengers!
Vince. Well, I guess the next thing for me to do then.
Assemble.
I gotta figure out how this damn label maker works. It's a couple of mechs. Beef. I'm the opposite of beefy. Baldur's Gate 3 is 125 gigs? God damn. Speaking of mechs, Shadow of Kerensky is out for MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. I am for hire as a pilot and for very few C-bills. I will light up your enemies like a Studio 54 disco ball. Sounds like a He-Man villain. Is it too late to get into MechWarrior 5? Cable? No, not Cable. We'd have to somehow see a skeleton of, or see a selection of all the characters. I could do that. I'll put them all together and I'll take a group photo and then I'll post it. I'll post that photo on my Twitch channel profile. I'll do that. How about that? How about I do that? I'll set all these guys up and then I'll take a picture so you could better see them all. It's a good idea.
Trouble drawing power for the train, but it was believed that by the end of 2022, all the new trains would have entered service and the old Acellas would be able to retire. A good thing, because the old Acellas are kind of falling apart. In 2022, though, they pushed back the launch to fall of 2023, with Amtrak saying that they needed more time to test the articulated cars. See, on this train, 2 cars rest on one set of wheels or truck, which is quite common in Europe, but it needed to be tested more on Amtrak's network. 2023 came and went. Launch date was pushed back to 2024 because of issues like shattered windows and lead in pipes. A huge issue has also been computer modeling for the Northeast Corridor. Apparently, Alstom's digital models of the tracks were not up to date, and fixing this took a lot of time as well.
Wait, what?
In 2025, not up to Windows. Launch date was pushed back to 2024.
Shattered windows.
Because of issues like shattered windows and lead in pipes. A huge issue has also been computer modeling for the Northeast Corridor. Apparently, Alstom's digital models of the tracks were not up to date, and fixing this took a lot of time as well. In 2025, it kind of seemed as though they might never enter service. The yard in Philadelphia was full of these trains, but then crew certification runs began. Amtrak even accidentally said online that they would enter service in May before quickly changing it and converting it to summer 2025. Well, that prediction was finally right for a change, because here we are, late summer 2025 on the new Acela. I still can't believe it. Now, the conversation I see all over the internet is, who's to blame? And many people seem to fault Alstom with a delayed timeline. I don't know.
Is it Omega Red? No. A class photo? No chicks? Actually, you say that. I just noticed I had this. It says Hydra Medic, and she's missing an arm. But this might be the only female HeroClix thing I have in here. I don't know why she's missing an arm. Seems like the medic probably needs a medic of her own.
Personally, but I will say that that is something all parties involved, Alstom, Amtrak, the government, should do better on, communicating clearly. I had to spend a few hours digging through old newspaper articles, forums, and Reddit posts just to present you with the information I just did. I get that Amtrak maybe doesn't want the Times Square Jumbotron to feature everything that went wrong.
We have another female character, Wolfsbane, who is one of my favorites. She was a member of the New Mutants and then became a member of X Factor. Awesome. Hell yeah. She's missing an arm too. What the fuck is going on here? Why are all the women missing arms?
But this whole, it's entering service now. Oh no, wait, it's later. It'll be now. Oh wait. It's very frustrating as a passenger. And let's be real, as a taxpayer. Is the uncertainty really better for Amtrak and Alstom's reputations? Amtrak's ordering a lot of new rolling stock in the next few years, so I am hoping that these procurements will go a lot better.
I mean, I could ask CEO Roger Harris. He's sitting right across from me, but maybe I'll leave the investigative journalism for a different occasion. So we're almost in New York City. This train will run all the way until Boston, but New York...
You see, he was corrupted. He was corrupted, you see? At the very beginning, he was like, I have to disclose that they're giving me, they're treating me to this trip. I'm going to try to be objective, but you know what? He couldn't be objective. He pulled his punch there. He should have done some muckraking. He got corrupted by the gifts and then pulled his investigative punch. Why do I have these fucking things? I don't know who this guy is. He's not Hobgoblin. Annihilus? Is that this fucking guy? Does this fit? I've never heard of the Nihilus. I don't think this fits. Oh, wait, maybe it does. Nope, it doesn't fit. Oh, maybe it does, actually. Maybe it is this guy. I'm going to use it. All right, these are all my guys. I'll take the class photo a little later.
New York is it for me. Let's talk about riding the next-gen Acela. And I really want to focus on the positives here because there are so many. Most important, I think, to you guys, the seats. I genuinely do think they're a good replacement of the old Acela. The old Acela seats, of course, are very comfortable. These might need to be worked in a little bit, but for the 2.5 hours I was on board, I was very comfortable. I also like that the shades are easy to use and that every seat has its own power socket, so you're not reaching over other people anymore. In terms of the onboard atmosphere, I think the big windows and the bright lights, as well as the light colors, really help make it a more pleasant atmosphere. I mean, you get on board, there's great signage, everything is automatic, so you don't have to press any buttons when you walk between the vestibules, and it just feels like a 21st century train. Like, this is going to make traveling across the Northeast Corridor a more pleasant experience. In terms of how smooth the ride is, honestly, I feel like at higher speeds, the train is smoother. When you go a little bit slow,
the fuck is this?
A little bit bumpy, a little bit wobbly, but especially when we were hitting, you know...
I was trying to scan the QR code to get this label maker to work, and like my camera was all like fucked up and blurry, and now I turn it around and realize that there's like shit all over the lens. What the fuck? When did that happen? This is becoming an ordeal. Ugh. Good thing I have my window cleaner and this little no-lint cloth next to me.
150 miles an hour. You could walk around easily. Another improvement is the Wi-Fi speed. My friend was telling me that they were able to watch Netflix while connected to the Wi-Fi. Love the way they've set up the cafe car, especially with that self-serve kiosk. Now you don't have to wait in line when you want to order food anymore if the kind of food you want is at the kiosk. A huge improvement. Bathrooms, spacious. Overall, I can't wait to ride this train again tomorrow. The New York City skyline is coming into view, and I'm sitting here soaking in the last few minutes on this train. Not to be cheesy, but that's a smile you can't fake. I love
No, dude, we know how much you fucking...
There's so many things about this channel that I enjoy doing, digging into history, exploring new systems.
This ride has been like an endless orgasm for this kid. Like, we get it. You fucking enjoyed the shit out of this experience. It seems like a cool train. It seems like it's only hamstrung by the track that it's on, and that's a function of probably a combination of things. Maybe a government, local governments that are unwilling to A, spend the money to replace those tracks, B, unwilling to fight NIMBYs to eminent domain their territory so that they can replace those tracks. But for, I guess, in light of all that, the train seems like it's actually pretty decent. Oh, I just wish it was coming under different circumstances. I do like Wolfsbane. Sid from Toy Story probably got a hold of them. The Hardy Boys and the Riddle of the Missing Arms. I had a big crush on Lita growing up. Lita? Although Lita from Deep Space Nine was bad either. I don't know either of those Litas. At the moment, I am playing Wildlands, but I will gladly form a cross-platform mech squad with y'all. The figures are most interesting than his face anyways. What? Devin, have you watched Creature Commandos from DC? It was fantastic on HO. I've seen like a couple of episodes of that. I've only watched a couple of episodes. I haven't seen all of it. It was all right. Something about it didn't draw me in, though. I don't know. I should probably go and finish it. I melted all my plastic toys together by burning their hands together in a circle. In a circle. Lead from Deep Space Nine is pretty hot. GMF, the music for the credits for episode 1 of Creature Commandos is one of my favorite Finnish folk metal bands called Korpiklani. Huge props to James Gunn for that. James Gunn is too much of a music nerd. Like, every movie he does has like 20 needle drops in it. Lita is a wrestler, and Lita is Rom's wife, Quark's brother, the Dabo girl. I've seen 5 episodes of Deep Space Nine. It is on my list. It is on my list, so I will watch more, but I'm not at all familiar with Deep Space Nine that way.
But ever since I was a little kid, new trains have fascinated me. And these next-gen Acellas have everything that I would want in a new train. They're really going to improve rail service in this part of the country. I can't wait for these to be the standard. And we're at New York Penn Station. I can't believe we just rode the new Acela. I am so grateful to Amtrak for inviting me on this celebration. Such a special day. So grateful to all of you also for watching this video, but also for getting me to the place where stuff like this can happen. We'll be riding this train more in the future, including tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Okay, I mean, that guy, I think he probably liked riding that train more than I would have, honestly, but good video, good insight, good information, good information. I'll probably have to, what? No, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. Oh, I had the hero clicks covering the video. That's funny. Just hide those guys. All right, let me watch this. Light No Fire. A procedural Earth. A fantasy Earth. All footage in-game multiplayer. What is happening here? What is this music? Is this a survival game? I guess No Man's Sky is too, technically, huh? Like, what is the point of the game? Just hanging out with your chill bros? Why are the rabbits bowing? Can't say I'm sold on that just yet. Could be neat. Can't say I'm sold on it. At any rate, I guess I'm gonna have to delete something to install this fucking beast again. I'm probably gonna have to delete several somethings, honestly. I don't know what bulky games I have that I haven't uninstalled. I just installed a lot of smaller stuff. Probably Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I think I'm done with this. I could probably stand to uninstall it. How much is this going to free up? 119? Holy motherfucker. Yeah, let me just go ahead and wipe this one off the board. I'm probably not going to be going back to it for a little while. I said that about the figures because their camera is taking up 90% of the stream. Oh. Not long after that, I started to see a social worker. Oh. Can't believe he didn't say how long the trip was. Crucial info. Yeah, that is the one thing. Like, he definitely whiffed on... If you're riding high-speed rail in America, the most important thing in the world is how high is this speed? Like, is it actually high speed or is it high for America speed? Like, what does that actually look like? Like, what does it translate to someone who might be interested in, say, living in Boston but working in New York or working in DC? Living in DC and working in Philly. Like, what does that actually look like for someone that wants to make that commute? Is it reasonable? When I was talking to Lauren in Japan about the Shinkansen and her living in Kyoto at that time, she's in Tokyo now. She works for Atlas, so she's in Tokyo now. But she was telling me that at Nintendo there was some guy she worked with who the company paid him. They paid all of his commute fees because he worked in Kyoto at Nintendo's headquarters, but he lived, I can't remember the name of the town, but it was like maybe an hour south of Kyoto. So every day he would get on the Shinkansen for an hour to get to work. But an hour on that train is like two and a half hour is like a 2.5 hour drive, maybe even a 3 hour drive or so, depending. So he transformed a 3 hour daily commute into a 1 hour commute that he could like sleep on if he wanted to fall asleep. So that's doable there. And having that opportunity, having that option can theoretically revitalize a lot of areas outside of your urban centers. That would be the important part, I think, for this transit on the Eastern Corridor, because every city in America basically is incredibly expensive to live in. And if you can give people an option to maybe move somewhere outside of those expensive areas, but still be able to reasonably commute and work in those areas, then you open up some better opportunities to expand, grow, revitalize some areas that may have seen an exodus of people fleeing to cities for work or for a cool urban millennial lifestyle. Of course, conversely, you would probably see cities start to empty out a little bit, not too much. You'd see some cities empty out, but then that would lower the cost of living in those cities, hypothetically. I don't think anyone's opposed to that. I'm a female rebel. Okay. Yeah, but NMS is super easy not to die. Now, if you play on harder settings, after even not playing endless no-goal games, Sky Oblivion looks great. That reminds me, I think it was Arachnid that posted in the React channel. What was that video? I ported Morrowind to Elden Ring. The fuck does that even mean? How long is this video? Do I want to watch this right now?
Hello there, guys, and welcome to Morrowind. Or, well, Satanin to be more specific. Please ignore the big pink markers as well, it's a debug thing. So let's take a little jaunt over to Balmora while I explain what I've been working on for the past few months. So yeah, this is an actual real mod that I've been putting together for quite a while now. I'll get into the technical details of it a little bit later, but the gist of this is Morrowind running in the Elden Ring engine.
Why does it still look like shit?
Finished yet, but I'd wager it's just about halfway done at this point, though that can be kind of difficult to gauge with a project of this scale. I've actually had this mod in the background for quite a while now. I was originally targeting the Dark Souls 1 engine, but found that it could not handle how dense the Morrowind mainland was. We then ported this project to Dark Souls 3, where it just barely fit within the world loading restrictions. Because of that, I can actually show you a side-by-side of what Morrowind looks like in both the Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 engine. Moving the project to Elden Ring was actually a very recent move as well. The community tools for modding Elden Ring have advanced a lot in the past few years, and well, Elden Ring is just a better game than Dark Souls 3. And here we are in the beautiful city of Balmora. For the rest of this video, I'm going to break this down into like a
I mean, it's cool though. It looks cool.
I think that would be the best way to
It looks like Morrowind. It looks like Xbox era Morrowind for whatever that's worth.
Morrowind is one of my favorite games of all time, but god damn is it dated. So my goal here is to try and combine the world and lore of Morrowind
racism.
Basically just taking the best parts of both and slapping them together into a common fruit and scrib jelly sandwich. It also just seemed like an interesting project to work on. When I started fiddling with this idea, I wasn't sure if it was even feasible to complete. But the further I got into it, the more possible it started to look. Until eventually I just decided, why not? Let's just go for it. I think it's possible.
Does this video have a real US cool sponsor?
Well, by golly, it sure does. Today's video is sponsored by Boot.dev.
Boot.dev, of course. That makes
a
sense.
Mountain of bad coding practices. And hey, would you look at that? Boot.dev even today, using the promo code Inferno Plus at checkout to get 25% off your first year. Ad over.
How much is done?
World generation is basically finished. The best way to demonstrate this is to climb to the top of Red Mountain and just look out over the entirety of Morrowind. It's all there. But that really only shows that it's finished on a more macro scale. I'd like to point out some of the smaller details as well. Each region of the map actually has distinct weather and lighting data. For example, the Ashlands are gray and overcast, while the Bitter Coast is a more colorful, swampy area that tends to get a bit more rain. And of course, the Red Mountain area is just covered in blight storms. I've also modernized the water for Morrowind, which was insanely complicated, but the results are wonderful. And this extends beyond just water. Since this is a From Software game, I was obligated to convert Morrowind's regular old swamps into poison swamps. I like to call this Poisonous Swamp Manifest Destiny. The lava was also regenerated, and it looks a lot nicer. Another thing that is mostly finished is lighting and world FX. Currently the lighting looks a little bit blown out as I am just converting the data 1-to-1, which is technically correct, but no. It absolutely needs some processing done on it that I just haven't looked into yet. World emitters are pretty much in the same boat as they are effectively half finished. Each individual type of world emitter has to be remapped into an Elden Ring FXR. Most of these are really straightforward though. Candles are remapped to candles, fire is remapped to fire, blue candle is remapped to candle that I tinted blue. There are a couple I haven't messed with yet though, like steam vents. The systems I've built are absolutely able to handle it, I just haven't spent the time organizing all that data yet. Interiors are also mostly finished as they use nearly identical code to the overworld generation. There is a goofy issue with load doors right now that I thought I'd share. It seems that when Morrowind teleports a player through a load door, they use the player's hip bone as their root, while Elden Ring grabs players by their feet instead. This means that when you go through a load door, you're about 3 feet higher than you should be and you fall down a bit. This isn't a problem unless there's a low ceiling, and then you just clip straight into it and get stuck. Beautiful. Obviously, this is a bug I can fix with like one line of code, but I found it while working on the video, so I haven't patched it yet, and I thought I'd share because it's entertaining. Another thing that is partially finished is dialogue generation. When I say partially finished, I basically mean that all the dialogue is loaded, but none of the scripting data is. So every possible topic of conversation is currently present for each individual NPC.
Oh,
Funnily
Jesus.
enough, this means that if you ask an NPC about Dagoth Ur or Red Mountain, they're just like, oh yeah, you killed that guy, right? So I guess I've already beaten the game. World first. Easy. I've also implemented the systems needed to have voice acting as well, but for now, all dialogue lines just play a sound effect of a page turning, as voice acting is one of the last things I'll be doing for this mod. I was just curious if it was technically possible, and it looks like it should be.
I wonder if he's gonna do.
That every single NPC so far is just default girl woman, and in addition to that, every non-human NPC is replaced with a goat. I did this because I wanted to make sure the game engine could handle the bulk of Morrowind's characters, but without actually having to go and map out every single enemy spawn. This did prove to have some issues, which I will get into later, but for the most part, it does work. And that's basically where the project is right now. To put it in as few words as possible, the world is there, but it's completely devoid of actual gameplay.
Aren't you afraid of getting sued again?
Ah yes, well, this part of the video goes out directly to the Bethesda lawyers that are watching right now. You can just go ahead and stop writing that very threatening email, because this project does not violate any copyright whatsoever. How do I explain this? Have you ever heard of a mod called A Tale of Two Wastelands? It was a mod for Fallout New Vegas that converts the Fallout 3 game files into an add-on for New Vegas, so you could play both Fallout games at the same time. In order to install it though, you had to buy both games and install them both first. My mod works basically the same way. My software reads the Morrowind game files, does a bunch of math on them, and then outputs Elden Ring game files. The project itself does not include any of Morrowind's data in it. It requires the user to have that data in order to create the mod for them. And it is also open source, so if you want to go check, then be my guest.
What about
Interesting.
From Software? Are you worried about that?
No, because they're based as fuck. Take note, Bethesda. You could learn something.
So when is it coming out?
That actually depends on you, my dear viewer. I like working on this project, and I would like to keep working on it. But I also need to know if this is what people want me to be spending my time on. YouTube is effectively my full-time job, and if I'm going to spend 6 months building a mod, I need to know that's what my viewers actually want me to do. I imagine you can all probably infer from what I've shown that this is not simple stuff. This is the result of thousands of hours of research and code work fueled by Adderall and caffeine. So yeah, if you want to support this and make this actually happen, do all those YouTube social media things. Hit the button, share the video, check out my Patreon, etc., etc. Aside from that though, the only thing
I'll support this for sure.
back are that I need a couple of other modders to help me out with some specific things.
Or we can all go back to living in walkable neighborhoods with mixed use so that your job can be close to home. The only reason we don't anymore is concession to hyper-capitalism, track homes, etc. Oh, you're preaching to the choir on that one, Farms. Well, I'm going to head to bed because I'm running on 2 hours and I need to get rest. God damn. Have a good night, all. Hey, thanks for stopping by and hanging out, Wisp. I appreciate it. You have a good night, too. Get you some much-needed sleep.
What do you need help with?
There are currently 3 big things that are outside my skill set for modding that I need assistance with. The first issue is something I call the C0 limit. In Elden Ring, every character has an ID that ranges from C0 to C9999. This includes the player character, which is C0, and of course, C0 is special. While most characters are just a single model, C0 is like Voltron. It's made up of multiple different parts, being armor and weapons and face data. So while you can spawn in 1,000 goats and have no issues, Elden Ring has some arbitrary limits on the number of C0 characters you can have loaded at the same time. The limit actually goes back as far as Dark Souls 1, as I ran into this same issue when working on the Remastist mod. Regardless, this limit has to be fixed for this mod to work. Morrowind has over 2,000 humanoid characters, and in some areas like Vivec City and Balmora, it exceeds the hidden C0 limit, and some of them just fail to load in. This particular problem requires reverse engineering work, which I am absolutely useless at, so it's something I will need help with. I've talked with a couple different people about this problem, and from what I understand about it, it's very likely fixable. It just requires a very specific skill set to actually make that happen. The second issue is another reverse engineering thing, nav mesh generation. My friend Nord has been poking at this for a while, and he's made some progress on it, but we've yet to get it to actually work. Nav meshes are basically just simple 3D meshes that AI use to navigate around terrain. Every map in Elden Ring basically consists of 3 layers. A pretty visual mesh for you to look at, a simplified collision mesh to do physics on, and then an even simpler nav mesh for AI to do pathfinding on. The issue is we don't have the tools to build nav meshes, and without nav meshes, AI just doesn't work right. I am possible to fix this problem as well, but it's beyond my skill set to really help with it. And the third issue is the complete opposite of the previous 2. I really need some 3D artists. One of the things that I can't directly convert from Morrowind to Elden Ring is the armor and clothing. I mean, I could probably do it, but it would just look absolutely horrendous. This also applies to enemies as well. So what I'd really like is to have a couple of 3D artists that make modern renditions of the Morrowind clothing and armor to use in this mod. I kind of low-key love the designs of Morrowind's robes, and it would just be amazing to see them done justice in the Elden Ring engine. And for enemies, what I'd like
That's
to
a
do
tall
is
ask.
reskins of Elden Ring's enemies and bosses to sort of Morrowind-defy them. For example, it would be fucking amazing to reskin Horelu as Dagoth-Ur. And all you'd have to do is add a mask to his head, change the color of his skin, and recolor his pants. And then biblically accurate Dagoth-Ur could canonically suplex you into the ground. But yeah, that is pretty much it. There is, of course, plenty of potential for unforeseen issues to appear, but that goes without saying as every mod is at risk of that happening. I've done a fair bit of research on what remaining work is left, and from what I can tell, everything I want to do is possible. It really just comes down to the number of hours it's going to take to build it all out. And if any of those 3 things I listed are things that you think you could help with and want to, there will be a Discord link in the description for like a collaboration space of some kind. So check it out.
So what is left for you to do?
Assuming the problems I listed above get solved, the first thing is going to be writing a sort of interpreter for Morrowind's Papyrus script to be able to cross-compile it into Elden Ring's EVVD script. That is going to be very difficult, but I am confident that I can do it. In tandem with that, I will also have to implement variable checks into the dialogue system, which is going to be equally difficult. After that, I will have to begin parsing and placing static items and container loot so that key items can be obtained and turned in for quests. At which point, the main quest should be mostly playable. Once we reach that point, I will probably remap characters, and honestly, I'll probably hand place most of the enemies in the game world. I could use the Morrowind spawn points, but for things to play well, I will probably want to go through and plonk down dudes and bosses myself one at a time. I may also want to adjust some areas to make boss fights fit better. Morrowind interiors can be kind of cramped, so if I want to have a boss fight at the end of a dungeon or something, I may have to expand a few rooms to make it play well. Additionally, at the moment, I think the world scale is maybe a little too small. The entire project actually has a singular scaling factor, so I can change it pretty easily. I just haven't decided what scale to use yet. But yeah, once I finish with all of that, the mod would be playable in full. This is where I'd want to go through and flesh out mechanics more. I'd want to do things like add alchemy ingredients so you can craft potions, have shops in different cities with unique items to sell, and of course I'd also want to add some spells to the game like water walking and levitate, because it's really not Morrowind unless you have levitate. And that pretty much describes the whole roadmap for this project. It's a lot to do, but it's well within the realm of possibility.
Oh, that's not really a question, is it?
So yeah, it's about time to wrap things up. I'm curious what you guys are going to think of this project, and if you want to hear me talk about it in more detail, I'll have a longer video on my second channel where I go in.
I think it's cool. I'm going to subscribe, and I'm going to hit the like on it, because I think he should continue forward with it. Hopefully he can find people to help him out. With it, but yeah, the voice acting, I'm curious, like, if he's gonna actually hire voice actors or if he's gonna do AI voices. I would play this, even though it is a merging of two games that I haven't always had the most positive things to say about. Famously, not a fan of Elden Ring, and famously more of a fan of Morrowind, but it is my least favorite Elder Scrolls game. I would play this. It could be cool. It could be fun. It could make me like both more, honestly, if it's done well. So I vouch for it. Oh, this is one. Austin is redesigning its bus network for light rail. Which option is best? This is Austin specific. And I haven't watched this yet. I just saw this actually pop up on my feed today. It was posted 2 days ago. I have ranted, and you've heard if you've listened to my podcast, I know you have, Genetic Memory Farms. I've ranted before about Austin's Project Connect and how that was basically shadow canceled. There is a lot of anger in Austin right now, actually, over the city's plan to try to raise property taxes beyond the cap set by state law. My friend, the Weenie Dog, the owner of the Weenie Dogs, she's livid over it. And I can't blame her. But it's a tough situation to like try to manage an unmanageable city in a state run by right-wing assholes. It's a Sisyphusian task that is both thankless and probably not filled with a great deal of joy. But, you know, they signed up for the job, so they should have a little bit more empathy towards the people that another hike in property taxes would absolutely devastate. Like, it is hard because, yes, we need to fund schools, we need to fund fixing roads and all that, and they're selling the proposition to raise property tax as a way to fund homelessness initiatives, but the city has such a bad track record with mismanaging homelessness initiatives that is probably not the best way to go about selling that to a city that has only ever continuously seen a worsening homelessness problem, while they continue to vote for property tax hikes to solve a worsening homelessness problem. So there's a lot of problems in Austin right now. There's a lot of problems. Let's see, this week we dive into Austin Transit Plan 2035 as the city is moving forward with plans for a light rail system that will break ground in 2027. Jesus Christ. This was supposed to break ground like 5 years ago. Cap Metro is beginning to plan how the existing bus network will interface with light rail. This plan is large and would be impossible to cover in its entirety in one video, so we picked a few of the busiest. Okay. So I probably won't watch this on stream since this is very me-oriented. Like, you guys really probably don't give a shit about Austin Transit, but it is a thing that is of intense concern because of, I guess this guy did past video. Public transit under attack in Texas. This is probably going to make me angry if I watch this one.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Transit Tangents. My name is Lewis.
And I'm Chris.
And today we are going to...
You know what? I'm going to subscribe to this guy. I'll probably watch his videos later, but they're definitely something I do want to watch. Oh boy, what time is it? 12:09. Do I have anything? The fuck is this? Toaster, I should have known you were going to send me something incredibly unhinged. What is this? Marster Chef?
Hello, and welcome to Master Chef. Tonight we'll be meeting 3 of Britain's most innovative new chefs.
What in the fuck am I looking at?
Without further ado, let's go over now to the Red Kitchen and meet the first of our new chefs, Joan Baptiste.
What in the mother of fuck am I watching here? What is this? The fuck is this? Is this from like a TV show or something?
Hello, Joan. Well, this first dish here is not only innovative, it looks absolutely delicious. So, tell us about it, Joan.
This is a first plate in the form of Jesus Christ for children to learn the story of Jesus.
Okay, right now I can instantly see that it's got 2 eggs for eyes, a tomato, and a sausage.
The story unfolds. See, the people follow him, he is happy. See, they betray him, he is sad. See, his eyes are lovely and open.
Yeah, okay, I can see the eyes there. Look at that.
Oh, he's bloody crying now.
But these ears here, they look really realistic. What are they made of?
No sacrifice is too great for Jesus.
Oh my God. And I did not make your stupid dinner cry, okay? Let's move on now to our second show.
What the fuck is this, man? What is this? This sketch gets more relevant with every passing day? What the fuck? It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, but if asked to explain why, I can't. That's what makes it funny. It's just funny 30 years later. If this is 30 years old. Oh, it's Tim with his original TV. What the fuck is this? This is a real thing? Vic and Bob sketches? Who are Vic and Bob? Well, what? My lack of knowledge of this, while this incredibly insane, surreal visual plays out, is only increasing my anger. Like, I'm getting angry. Like, what the fuck am I looking at here?
It's Quentin Mintz. Hello, Quentin.
Hello, my dear fellow. How are you?
Hello. And what have we got here?
Why don't you take a look for yourself?
My God! It's not, is it?
I rather think it is, sir.
Incredible, how innovative. Let's take a slice.
No, don't do that. Oh, very good.
What?
We have no other option.
Okay, moving on to our final chef of the evening. In the blue kitchen, it's Lucas Bonchon. He is world famous for his exquisitely designed replica cakes and puddings. And I don't think anybody could fail to see what this was.
Googled it. Oh boy. Deep fear on the answers on this one.
That's right, Lord. It's cake a show. It's a show cake. Cake like a show. Show cake. Cake a show.
Well, it certainly is very realistic. So let's take a slice. Lucas, this is a shoe.
No, it's a show cake. It's a cake like a shoe.
Show me your feet. Look, it's a shoe. Lucas, does this mean that I ate a pair of trousers in your restaurant last week?
No, cakey trousers. Trouser cake. It's cake like trousers. Trousers, but a cake. Look, try this phone. I've got a cakey phone here, like. Try that. Cakey phone.
Lucas, you're just a fakey cake maker, and I ain't got time for you. Well, I think you'll agree we've seen some very innovative dishes tonight. And all that remains is the difficult task of choosing a winner. Well, I've just cogitated. And the winner tonight is Quentin Mintz. Well done, Quentin. And I can't wait to get stuck into his dish.
Toaster, I wish I had a way of punishing you. I wish I had a way of punishing you for that one. I don't know if you're still here. You're probably like fucking stoned as shit, playing Valheim or something. But goddamn, man, what the fuck was that? Reeves and Mortimer, colloquially known as Vic and Bob, are a British double act consisting of Vic Reeves. Wait, what? Jim Moore, real name Jim Moore. So he has 3 names? He goes by what? Wait, what? And Bob Mortimer, they have written and started several comedy programs, put comedy in quotes, programs on British television since the 1990s, with Reeve having his first TV appearance in 1986. They have often been referred to as modern day Morecambe and Wise. Who the okay. This is British shit. This fucking British shit. Reeves and Mortimer comedy combines absurd, visually and verbally inventive material with traditional comedy double act staples such as violent, cartoonish slapstick. The duo freely engages in escalating fights with large frying pans, baseball bats, hammers, etc. Often improvised silly banter, usually at a large prop-strewn desk, and purposely corny rapid-fire jokes. Both at times play the straight man. Often Mortimer will play... What the fuck? Mid-80s British comedy. Ugh. The only thing worse than British cuisine is British comedy. Ugh. Ugh. BBC, that explains it. Leave for 5 minutes and what the fuck do I return to? I'm asking the same question, man. I agree, it's one of the most unfunny things I've ever seen in my 41 years. Jesus Christ, dude. I gotta find a way. We as a community need to collectively punish Toaster for that one. I don't know how it happens. We need to put our heads together and come up with a way to punish him. Oh my god. Is that really how I'm gonna end the stream? I'm gonna end it on that one? Did I start the download? I guess I did. I guess I'll install it. It'll take a while to install, so I may as well. What? Cloud status out of sync. How the fuck did that happen? Oh, boy. Alright, what happened in the game tonight? Oh, the Eagles won? I don't know why the fucking score thing is taking so goddamn long to load. Guess I could see from here that the Eagles won, though. Jesus Christ, this is fucking awful. Why is it taking so long? Am I on a dial-up modem? $24.20. The G.I. Joe PSAs are a good palate cleanser. I haven't seen those in fucking forever. Ban Toaster from Reacts for a week. CeeDee Lamb had 2 huge drops on the Cowboys' last drive. Little Britain was funny. Loved the send-up of Chav culture, i.e. Vicky Pollard. That could be a good palate cleanser for ending the stream. No more British stuff. I think I might be banning that whole country. Why isn't this loading? God damn, what the fuck is going on here? I guess maybe they just don't have the stats input yet. Oh, that's shitty. Guess I'll have to get the box later. Did Philly's defense show up? Do I have more than half a point on the night? No, I don't. I ended still with that same half a point. Great. Way to shit the bed on me, Philly defense. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get this to work. Oops, I must have shut down. What happened? There we go. Makes a little beep I have to listen to. Alright, let me see if I can do that. Okay, it's connected. How do I... Oh shit. Alright, let me pop this thing open and see if I can't All right, how does this get loaded in here? Okay, do I just drop it in here? Okay, now let me see if I can make a label on this damn thing. What are you doing, Galby? Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna do yours first, Vince. If I can find. Let me see. What if I search? What? How Eurocentric. I guess instead I will go with this one. What happens if I hit print? Is it gonna print? Is it gonna print? Oh, it's all kinds of fucked up. Hold on a second. Alright, let me try that again. Alright. I couldn't find a bear to symbolize the Chicago Bears. It's kind of blurry and it's pretty small. But I got your whole screen name on there. And I have a bear paw print. I tried to find a football, but the only football that showed up was a soccer ball. It's very, very Eurocentric. Alright. So I have yours. I'll do tacos next. I'll take a picture of this here in a second and post it on the Discord, and then you guys can choose who you want. Oh, I finished already. Okay, cool. Unbelievable! How do they? Oh, Jesus Christ! This okay. I wonder if there's a way. I wonder if there's a way for me to. I guess maybe I can just. Oops! Don't want that. Oh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Perfect. Let me see if I can use this one. You know what? Oops, shit. I don't want to do that. How do I... Here we go. Now that I know that I could do this, I'll probably reprint yours too, Vince, so I can get a appropriate image for you. All right. And for you, Taco, I guess you kind of can't tell, especially if you're blind already. But that is a taco with a scary face and a ghost is coming out of his mouth. It says Haunted Taco 12 right next to it. Wolfsbane is good. Oh, where did I put you, Wolfsbane? Where are you at? Is that you back here? No, that's the other person, I think. Yeah, this is a Hydra agent. There she is. All right. What's a good way for me to fucking put this on here even? These label stickers aren't exactly the stickiest in the world. And the way that I want to display them doesn't exactly give them the most surface area. It's a bad combo. I'll just put it right here. Alright. I'll have to come up with a better solution on how to put this little tag on here, but you are officially Wolfsbane. Where's my... Oops. Haunted Taco 12. I'm the Wolfsbane. For now, I'm gonna put you down here. And eventually, once I take the picture, I'm gonna move all of them down there, and then all of the labeled guys will go up top. So for now, you're just kind of isolated on the bottom there. Did you like how I added that Family Mart jingle in the edit? Yeah, I did actually. That was cool. Wasn't sure if that would get flagged or not. Can't believe Panasonic owns that. That is kind of silly. But Japan, jingles in Japan are a big deal. Jingles in Japan are a pretty big deal. Have you by chance seen the Gourds, a local Austin band that just did a reunion at Sam's Town Point? I've never heard. Well, you know what? Actually, it sounds familiar. I've never seen them. That sounds familiar, though. I believe the singer goes by Shiny Ribs. I never got to see them once. They were fantastic. What kind of music? Nope, still can't see. I'll take a picture and post it in the Discord as well. So, that's fine. Oops. Ugh. Let me see if I could find... I wonder if it's blurry because let me turn this off. That's not really helping. Ah well, I'll take the picture. All right, let's try this one more time here. There we go. Spitting it out now. With a Chicago Bears on there for you. I want to get somewhat accurate representation going on here. Where's the other one? Toss that one.
There's no surprise there.
Toss that in the trash. All right. Bluegrass, but very modern. They got a little famous covering gin and juice at Austin City Limits. That may be how you heard of them. Oh, interesting. The Bears. The middle of Gin and Juice, they also played Cheap Trick at AC/DC, extremely musically talented. I don't recall hearing that. I must have heard about it from someone. They wouldn't have sound super familiar to me. All right, everybody, that's it for me tonight. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it as always. You know, tomorrow's Friday. Like, you know what? I could play No Man's Sky tomorrow. Why not? Why not? I guess I will play No Man's Sky tomorrow. Sure. That's what I'll do. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Join me for that. If not, have a great Friday. Hope to see you on Saturday. If not, I'll see you when I see you. Take it easy, everybody.